We are coming up on the end to the PlayStation Store summer sale, and I want to do one final video before it wraps up next week with looking at some of the best deals under the price of $10. It actually came to my attention that a bunch of the deals ended, and that was a big goof on my part. I believe the deals ended on August the 12th, so yeah, I kind of got confused about that. So my apologies on that, but nevertheless, let's get right into it, and I want to cover some of these deals. Alright, first of all, Axiom Verge is 65% off for $6.99. Obviously, Axiom Verge 2 has a lot of buzz right now, but if you never played the first one, definitely worth a pickup because it is an excellent game. This game was done by one person, which is absolutely staggering to me, but it's a very well-made Metroidvania title that if you're a fan of these games, you're gonna like it. Obviously, it doesn't blow anything away from a technical and visual standpoint, but if you're a fan of the old school look, you'll probably really like it. The presentation, I think, is quite good from a design standpoint, and I do actually think there's quite a bit of detail in this game, even though it does have that pixel-based art style. Good bit of content in here as well. Typically goes for $20, so I think at the $7 price point, it is quite good. Definitely check that out. Next up, we have Mafia II, the Definitive Edition, 67% off for $9.89. Now, Mafia II is a fantastic game. I think it is tremendous. However, it should be noted that this version of the game, it is not that great. It's not like this definitive upgrade or anything like that. Unfortunately, it was a pretty lazy version that was released onto the PlayStation 4, but Mafia 2 itself is such a good game that I would still recommend it now that you're not paying $30. $9.89 is a much more palatable price point for this, and the game still has a awesome story, awesome voice acting, and story is great as well, so definitely go check out Mafia 2. I know it's a game that a lot of people did miss out on, and it was one of those games that came out back in like 09 or 2010 that a lot of people, you know, it doesn't get revered to that level at this stage of the game, but definitely one that's worthwhile to pick up and play. Speaking of that, I also do want to give a shout to Mafia 3, the Definitive Edition. That is 67% off for $9.89 as well. Mafia 3 was a game that, yeah, I'm gonna come across with these Mafia games kind of negatively. I was so excited for Mafia 3, and unfortunately, it did have some issues, but I still think the good outweighs the bad in Mafia 3, and the story and the voice acting in this game are also very good. The voice acting in particular, like, you got a lot of emotion and great delivery out of these characters. But yeah, another game that if you missed out on it, go ahead and give it a look at $9.89. I think it's a good buy. Just Cause 4 Reloaded is 80% off for $7.99. Now, this was another game that at launch, it was an absolute train wreck, and even at this stage, I wouldn't say it's as good as Just Cause 3, but it has made quite the recovery with this Reloaded version, and it is still a pretty enjoyable open world game. It takes some steps back from Just Cause 3 from a content standpoint, but if you just want a no-nonsense open world game that is just about getting into the game, having a good time, I think Just Cause 4 is still a worthwhile playthrough. Again, I think Just Cause 3 is the better game, and if that was on sale, I would recommend that, and it's been on sale several times, and when it is on sale again, I would recommend getting it. But if you want, again, a fun, no-nonsense open world game, Just Cause 4 is still a pretty good buy, and $7.99 is quite a good pick up for it. I mean, initially at $60, that was not a great deal, but at $8, it's definitely a fun open world game. Alright, next up, another open world title, Far Cry 5 is down to $9 for PlayStation Plus subscribers. It's $12 for non-Plus subscribers, but $9 for Far Cry 5 is quite good. Obviously, this game just had a free weekend that we did cover, and if you didn't try it out then, $9 to own the game is pretty darn good. Obviously, we are coming up on the release of Far Cry 6. That should be out in October, I believe. Far Cry 5 doesn't reinvent the wheel from a Far Cry standpoint, but that's not necessarily a bad thing just because Far Cry is a relatively consistent franchise. I've gotten a bit tired of it, but again, if you want an open world game that has a pretty decent story and good characters, Far Cry usually is going to offer you something that you can enjoy, and again, a sizable amount of content. Like, if you're talking about open world games with a ton of content, a lot to do, Far Cry is up there with the best of them from that standpoint, and the game itself visually looks great, and $9 for it is a really good pickup, especially if you're not, like, you know, eager to pick up Far Cry 6 for a full $60 when that does drop. For now, Far Cry 5 would be a good buy. Next up, Mark of the Ninja Remastered, 55% off for $8.99. This is another game that kind of gets forgotten about. It came out way back as a downloadable game on the 360 and PS3, and it was just an excellent game. It has a great art style that's aged really, really well. Much like a game like Bastion, this is a game that I feel like is going to stand the test of time, and the game itself is an action stealth platformer. You know, It's a game that does have its challenging elements to it, but overall, it is just a very, very enjoyable game that I'm not big on games with a focus on stealth, but Mark of the Ninja was something that I really enjoyed. This version isn't like a crazy upgrade from the original, but it does have 4K visuals, full audio remastered, and some special edition content included as well. You got New Game Plus in there on top of that, so some good stuff there, and for $9, again, a pretty decent pickup. If it was at like $5, I think this would be a slam dunk easy pickup. $9 makes it a little bit but overall I would still say it's a good buy. Next up we have Mega Man X Legacy Collection for $9.99. Now Mega Man X Legacy Collection 2 is also on sale for $9.99. I would go with Legacy Collection 1. This includes Mega Man X, Mega Man X2, X3, and X4. I wish with X1 they would have included Maverick Hunter X. I don't know why they can't get that done, because that is such a better version, and by far the best version of Mega Man X1. That was the remake that released on PSP, and you know, X1 doesn't hold up that well, but there's still really good action platformers here. I mean, I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Mega Man, and I love the Mega Man X games. I hope at some point they do an X9, but we'll see if that ever happens. X4 was like one of the very first games I ever played on my PlayStation 1. My PlayStation 1 was my first true gaming console, and Mega Man X4, I believe, was alongside Spyro, like one of the first games I got, and I really enjoyed that one. It's probably not as good as the first 3 X titles, but still pretty darn good. If you want action platformers that are relatively challenging at times as well, the X Legacy Collection is definitely worthwhile to pick up. Obviously, these games are not as difficult as the OG Mega Man titles. Those games are on another level. X kind of speeds up the process. You got dashing and things like that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, $10 for that, pretty good. And lastly, The Wolf Among Us is 60% off for $5.99. I often talk about this, but this is by far, to me, the best Telltale game. I mean, Walking Dead Season 1 is close, but The Wolf Among Us, in my opinion, has such good character development. It's got a mature tone going on to it as well, and of course, like most Telltale games, the story is absolutely excellent and has really well fleshed out characters as well. I'm so happy that we're getting a sequel, because I thought for a while that was a pipe dream for a while after everything that happened with Telltale, but now we know that's gonna happen, and hopefully that's out sooner rather than later. But if you never played Wolf Among Us, if you want something that is incredibly story-driven, has a great art style as well, Wolf Among Us is going to be something you really, really enjoy. And $6 for it is a slam dunk no-brainer. Great deal here for a game that has one of the best main characters in a video game that I've ever played, so that also is a great element of the game. But that's gonna wrap up this one. Again, the summer sale is wrapping up here shortly, but a couple deals still available that I think are quite good, and I did want to talk about that. So that's going to wrap up this one. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.